Hi, Llama Drona, Carly Trotter here. Good to see you all again. I'm hoping you guys are checking out some of my videos. So far I have an arms and ab video, a cardio blast video, I have a full body 30-minute workout. I think I have an abs video I just filmed earlier today that's gonna go live. A mini band series video that's about 10-15 minutes long. But why I'm here today is I want to do some stretching with you, some corrective movements and some dynamic stretching. If you're like me, I relieve stress by exercising, which means I work out pretty much every day and I don't take enough time for stretching because I'm trying to squeeze in my workouts between screaming children, and stretching comes pretty much last on my list. But it's so important. In order for our bodies to move correctly and in order for us to get full range of mobility, we really need to work on bettering our bodies and bettering the way that they move. So the first exercise that we're going to do is kind of for our rotator cuffs. They're scapular raises. So what I want you to do is stick your thumbs up like you're hitchhiking or saying, hey, good job. Good job for being here. And we're gonna raise our arms up overhead. So start them here with kind of the butts together and then raising them up. You guys should feel a stretch or a pull in that scapular area. So what you're doing is you're pulling it back, not behind your head, but it just slightly behind your ears, okay, when you're going up. And we're doing a full range of motion on this one today. There's different versions of this. And what I want you to do is get about 10 of them in. You don't have to keep up with me, go at your own pace, but what I really want to see is that flat, straight back. Another way of doing this is doing it while you're standing, and you can also do it while you're standing up against the wall. That's what I recommend. It'll force you to keep that back pinned to the wall, keep your back flat, shoulders pulled backwards, okay? The next exercise that we have is for our thoracic spine and some mobility. I call it threading the needle. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our right hand and we're gonna reach under our left hand, and we're in that quadruped position. I guess I should back up here. So quadruped position is your hands stacked underneath your shoulders and your knees stacked underneath your hips. We do a lot of movement from this. We do, abdominal work, bird dogs. This is kind of like our starting position when we're on the floor. So go ahead and take that right hand and reach it under. You can let your shoulder rest on the ground, getting a little stretch here. And then we're gonna peel it up and we're gonna open up and reach upwards towards the sky. Let your eyes follow your hand, okay? Already I'm feeling that. So stretching under and then peeling up towards the sky, okay? That's 2. We're gonna get 8 of these. Taking your time, going at your own pace. Remember too, you can always pause this video and do some more if something's really working for you. All right, halfway on this side, 4. This here shouldn't be difficult in the sense that you shouldn't feel like you're working out. You should feel like you're getting an active stretch in. It should feel good, okay? And part of what I really want to see here is that we're continuing to move during this. When we're pausing at the bottom, it's just a brief pause before we're opening up and rotating our spine, eyes following our hands. Okay, last one here. I think that's 8. And back to our quadruped position. Reset yourself. Make sure that you're in that perfect position. Toes, tuck them down, okay? I don't want the tops of the feet flat on the floor. We're gonna work on balance and engaging our core while we do this, so tuck those toes in under. Okay, left hand, here we go. Reaching under, getting a stretch in that shoulder, and then rotating up towards the sky. Eyes following your hands, peeling up, getting a really strong twist in that spine there, opening up. 3. I don't know about you guys, but I've been watching a lot more TV than I normally do, and doing it at night when the kids are in bed, and it's kind of like my way to decompress. I don't usually watch TV, but I'm finding my back is getting sore from sitting in that weird, awkward, uncomfortable position. And so exercises, stretches like these really help with mobility in the back and correcting those bad seating habits, bad form that we have in our lives. All right, I think that's 8. Good. Okay, the next one, I want you to lie down onto your left side. If you've watched any of my other videos, we talk about stacking our feet and legs into a 90-degree angle. So go ahead and do that. So what I mean by that is your knees should be coming straight out from your hips, and then your legs coming straight down. Take your hands, sandwich them together like a peanut butter sandwich, and you can rest your head on the floor. So you should be lying completely on your left-hand side, and we're going to pretend like we're opening a book with our body. So we're opening our book, okay? And as we open, our eyes are going to follow our hands until our hands reach the ground behind us, okay? Eyes still following. I want you to keep this left shoulder pinned on the ground, okay? Once we're open up, we're going to close that book and we're going to do it all again. Knees stay pinned to the ground, left shoulder stays pinned to the ground. Your goal is to get that right shoulder onto the ground behind you, okay? So there's 2. We're going to do 6 of these. 3. I love doing these in the morning time when I get up. 4, really waking up that body, waking up that spine. 5, feeling that nice deep twist in the spine. And 6, great. Close that book up, press yourself up into a position, spin around, and we're going to lay onto our right side, okay? So, again, feet, knees, hips all stacked, lying on my right shoulder and arms together like a book, and we're opening the book, eyes following, okay? Again, keeping those knees pinned to the ground, shoulder pinned to the ground. Here we go, is 2. Now you'll find that one side probably opens up a lot easier than the other side. That's completely normal. Again, our goal here is to try to get that on this side, our left shoulder to touch the ground without raising up our right shoulder or our knees. Our knees should stay in contact with the floor. I've lost count here, but we're going to do 2 more. 1, and the last one right here. 2. Great. Okay, so next we're going to work on just some lower back mobility and stretching out our lower backs. Again, I told you guys I've been sitting a lot more at night instead of going to bed and resting like I should be. My back is kind of suffering here. So we're going to sit into this in this kneeling position, and then we're going to creep our hands forward. And what I like to do is I like try to just inch and pull at the ground with my fingertips, trying to really elongate that spine, rest my forehead gently on the ground. This should be a nice, easy stretch, okay? This shouldn't be an aggressive stretch. This is like your child's pose stretch, okay? If you want to open up your knees a little bit more, keep those feet together, and get some hip stretch in there as well. Awesome. And just sit here for a second. This is more of a static stretch. I'm not like a huge static stretcher. I like all my stretches to kind of be dynamic, to be moving, to be athletic stretches. But this is one of those stretches, you do a lot in yoga too, that can really help with the lower back and help with really elongating that spine. And then again, like I said, if you're opening up your hips with that hip mobility. Stay here for a couple more seconds, get what you need out of this, and then we're gonna meet back in the quadruped position in just a second here. Okay, bring yourself slowly out of this position. back into that quadruped position where your hands are stacked under your arms and your knees are stacked underneath your hips. And from here, we're gonna just go into our tall plank position, okay? From here, from tall plank, we're gonna go down into a downward dog stretch. Feeling the stretch through the calves, through the backs of the arms, the shoulders, the legs, and the lower back, and the hips, elongating that spine, and then back into that tall plank position. Okay, we're gonna move a little bit faster from here. Here we go. Downward dog for 3, 2, 1. Back to your tall plank. Here we go. Downward dog. 3, 2, 1. Good. You should feel a stretch in those shoulders. Plank, engaging your core. Everything's strong, solid. Glutes are strong. Here we go. Back into downward dog. 3, 2, 1. 2 more of these. Here we go. Pushing down to down dog. 3, 2, 1. Back to our tall plank. And last one. Here we go. Downward dog. 3, 2, 1. Good. From here, go back into that quadruped position. And we're going to do something called inchworms, okay? So from that, from your quadruped position, walk your hands towards your feet, and we're going to stand up. So what an inchworm looks like is this, is feet stacked underneath the hips, about shoulder width apart. Hands are going to go down to the feet. We're going to walk our hands forward into that tall plank position. Hi, hello there. And then we're going to walk our hands back to our toes and carefully stand up, okay? I want you guys to get 6 of these at your own pace, okay? I'll be counting mine out, but you may be going at a completely different pace. If you wanted to get some extra in there, great, but here we go. Okay, hands to toes, walking out to tall plank, and then back to toes, and slowly standing up, pulling our shoulders back, finding that tall position, elongating our spine, and then forward folding back down to our toes, to the plank position, walking our hands back to our toes, standing up. There's 2. Again, down, touching my toes, holding my body in half, walking my hands out to that tall plank position, pausing for a moment, and then walking my hands back to my toes, rolling my body up, shoulders back, standing tall. 3, touching my toes, walking my hands out, finding tall plank, walking back, touching toes, rolling my body back. 4, we've got 2 more of these. You're doing great. All right, do this one at your own pace. I'll cue you to tall plank, walking back, toes, roll up. Last one. Here we go. Feeling that stretch in the hamstrings as we lean towards our toes, walking our hands back, feeling our core engage, glutes strong. We feel strong as a board here. Here we go. Walking our hands back towards our toes, rolling our spine up 1 vertebrae at a time, pulling our shoulders back and feeling strong and tall, because we are strong and tall. Okay, next. Let's go on to our hip flexor stretch. I ride a stationary bike a lot, and so this is the stretch that really, really helps me. We're going to get into our tall kneeling position, okay? Looks like this from the side. I have my left knee bent and my right knee below. I'm going to tuck my toe, and I'm going to reach my right arm up. So the arm that's in the sky is the same as the knee that is on the ground. So for me, right knee on the ground, right arm towards the sky, and already I'm feeling a strong pull right here. If you are not, squeeze the butt. Now you should feel a strong pull here. If you're not, and you just have loosey-goosey hips, I'm super jealous, okay? Then you can do a little bit of a lean backwards, a little bit of a lean to the side, and a little bit of lunge forward, okay? I'm just moving this front knee literally 1.5 inches, 2 inches, and holy smokes, am I feeling a stretch in here, okay? So play with it. Find what works for you, okay? So we're here, Leaning forward, lunging forward just slightly, an inch or two. Coming back, engaging that glute, tipping over to the side a little bit. Okay, I'm going to give you about 30 seconds to just play with this stretch and find what works for you. Really stretching this hip flexor area right in here. You'll also feel it on the side body here, depending on if you're reaching over or not. If you're reaching back and up. Okay, I'm just going to play with about an inch and a half forward and back right here. About 10 seconds, and then we're going to switch. Okay, good. All right, so left knee goes to the ground. Right knee goes up. Left arm goes up. And we're finding that stretch. I am feeling it right here without doing anything. And when I engage my glute, holy smokes, that left hip is on fire. All right. Bringing it forward a little bit, tucking my toe in, and play around with that. See what the difference is. See if you feel this stretch differently, if your foot, the top of your foot's resting on the floor like this, or if your toe is tucked in and this it gives you less stability and it's forcing those little tiny muscles in your abs and your glutes and your legs to engage. I feel a big difference. All right. Here for about 10 more seconds. Woo! Tell you what, I should be doing a lot more of this. Probably every single day. Probably multiple times a day. All right. The next exercise we're going to do is also for hip mobility. You can do this standing, but we're going to do it lying on our back today. So get down onto your back, and I'm going to start by bringing my left knee and left foot over my right foot, okay? I'm going to rest it there for a second, and you can also pull it towards your body. As you're pulling it towards your body, what I want you to do is reach behind that right leg and pull that right leg towards your chest. Now where you're going to feel that is in this area, okay? Again, in here and in here. So what I like to do is I like to find this position first on the ground, and then I lift up that right hip, or right leg, and then I reach behind, and then I'm just going to sit here for a second, okay? You can also release and re-engage, and release and re-engage. Or another way that you can do this, if that's too much, is you can literally hold on to your ankle and hold on to your knee and just pull it towards your body slightly. For some of you, just getting into this position is going to be stretch enough, okay? So finding what works for you, being aware of your joints, being aware of, your ankle, and making sure that you're not forcing that ankle into an uncomfortable position. Okay, go ahead and release, and we're going to switch. So take your right leg, cross your ankle over your left knee, start here, raise that left leg up and reaching behind and feeling that deep stretch. Woo! If you took my mini band class before this, you're definitely going to be loving this stretch because we fired up our glutes. If you haven't checked it out, check it out. It's about a 10, 12-ish minute video using mini bands, but if you don't have mini bands, that's okay too. You can do it without using the mini bands and you're still going to get a nice glute burn. Okay, we're here for about 10 more seconds. Breathing through it. You shouldn't feel pain at all. If you feel pain, then that's wrong. Let's stop. But if you're getting a good deep stretch and it's slightly uncomfortable, that's okay. Stretching doesn't always feel great for us. But anytime you feel pain, please stop and consult an expert, such as your doctor. Okay, Mama Drona, that's it for today. Those are some dynamic stretches, some corrective stretches. Gives you something to start off with, and I'll continue this series later on. It was great to see you guys. I'm looking forward to the day that I get to do some of these classes and see your beautiful faces in person. Have a great day, y'all. Talk to you later. Bye.